What we will have now is we're going to be having Brahma Samhita, and then after that we will continue with the Kirtan as was announced just now. And my request is everybody please chant as loudly as you can. Then you'll be very absorbed. And pray to Jagannath for his mercy, because he's the Lord of the universe. He's very powerful, and he will hear you. And he's the giver of all connections. Right? Thank you very much.
Come closer. Jagannath won't bite. Come closer.
माधवी तुम रास्ते में हो, यहाँ पे आ जाओ।
Govinda Govinda
Sit here, Shyam. Shyam, come sit here. Yes, come here. Sit here. Don't disturb me. Sit down. Then,
move the harmonium this side. I want the harmonium.
Roll side. Bring the harmonium. Bring harmonium there.
Just pass me the harmonium. Govinda, just put it here. Careful, huh? Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Can we have two mics? We need another mic. There's one more mic there. No, yes. Just watch yourself as the troops come in. You have to be alert. Right? Just be very alert. Okay, these are smaller ones, so it's not so bad. Take this one.
তারপরে কি বাবু পাল্টার ভিতরে ময়লা কতগুলো দেন এটা পরিষ্কার হলো
হরে কৃষ্ণ
হরে কৃষ্ণ
হরে কৃষ্ণ
হরে কৃষ্ণ বাসন মাজন না
Can we please agree? Can we please try again?
Next up, we will be hearing about the glories and pastimes of Jagannath, his appearance, and all the importance of Snapyatra. So let's give Sri Ram Haribol, Sri Kirandan Prabhu.
We urge everyone to listen attentively and please keep your phones on silent. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I decided that I will stop announcing and get different groups of younger devotees to come forward and start announcing. That would be a good way to introduce the younger devotees to the congregation. And I hope that we can also hear more devotees coming forward to sing. So we'll request you as often as you can to take up that service actually. Yeah. Just give us a few minutes while we get things ready here. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Jaya Jagannath, Baba ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Premanande.
No, Yamuna will sit.
Hey, Brenda.
So we chanted today the beautiful names. So we chanted the beautiful names of Lord Jagannath, and we thank all devotees for joining us today. How nice it is to take darshan of the Lord. But we will be in separation from the Lord for a few weeks now, not only because of Snan Yatra, but also doing renovations to the altar area. So today, what you have seen of the Lord, right? Please keep it in your heart, because it's very important for us to remember Him. Do you all also realize that over time, we all have become very attached to the deities? Isn't it? One way or the other, we've all become very attached to the deities. And that's a very important thing actually. Because the more we become attached to the deities, the more peaceful we are in our own devotional service. And that's a very important point. But there's also another point that Krishna says in the 3rd canto, 29th chapter, I think the 23rd verse, 3, 29, 23. It's a very important verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is spoken by Kapila Dev to his mother Devabhuti. And there Kapila Dev says a very important point that we should remember. He says, one who offers me respect, please repeat, one who offers me respect, but is envious of the bodies of others, and is therefore a separatist, never attains peace of mind. Because of his inimical behavior towards other living entities. So this is a very important verse. It's from 3:29, I think 3:29, 23, 23, 24. Kapila Dev is telling a very important philosophy. While we become very attached to Jagannath, there's no point if we are attached to Jagannath but we are envious of each other. If we don't treat each other well, if we don't respect each other, even externally we may show something nice, but internally we don't, then actually, Kapila Dev says that such a person, right, is not actually a devotee. It's very important. So being attached to Jagannath is one part of the equation. Treating others without envy and serving them, that really pleases Jagannath. That's a very important concept we should remember. Sometimes what happens is we are very, very respectful to the Lord, but we are inimical of each other. When that happens, the Lord is not pleased. But if we are not inimical with each other, and we really respect each other, we don't criticize, we don't find fault with each other, then our worship of Jagannath is really genuine. And Krishna becomes very happy. Losing temper with each other, getting angry with each other, these are not qualities of devotees. They are not. They are not. And if ever it happens in our congregation, our duty is to stop it. It's very important. Right? Srila Prabhupada had zero tolerance for such behavior. And we also have zero tolerance for such behavior. So if we really want to serve Jagannath, let our standard be that even in our hearts we should not be finding fault with devotees. The moment you find fault with devotees in the heart, we don't realize that we are already gliding in our devotional service. So that is something we should be very cautious of. Today we want to talk about Indradyumna Maharaj, because he is such a great, powerful devotee of the Lord, who served Krishna so beautifully. And it's actually because of him that we have the Lordships Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra in this world. But one way to remember Lord Jagannath is in a very important verse that comes in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, one of the very important chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And in this chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the 12th chapter, the verses are 13 and 14. So I suggest we chant it together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Santushtaha satatam yogi.
Santushtaha satatam yogi.
Yatma dhrida nischayaha.
Yatma dhrida nischayaha.
Arpita mano buddhi.
Arpita mano buddhi.
Yomad bhakta same priyaha.
Yomad bhakta same priyaha.
Adveshta sarva bhutana.
Adveshta sarva bhutana.
Maitreya karuna evacha.
Maitreya karuna evacha. Nirmaho nirahankara.
Samadukha sukha shami.
Samadukha sukha shami.
Santushtaha satatam yogi.
Santushtaha satatam yogi.
Yatma dhrida nischayaha.
Yatma dhrida nischayaha.
Arpita mano buddhi.
Arpita mano buddhi.
Yomad bhakta same priyaha.
Yomad bhakta same priyaha.
Adveshta sarva bhutana.
Adveshta sarva bhutana.
Maitreya karuna evacha.
Maitreya karuna evacha.
Nirmamo nirahankara.
Nirmamo nirahankara.
Samadukha sukha sami.
Samadukha sukha shami.
Santushtaha satatam yogi.
Santushtaha satatam yogi.
Yatma dhrida nischayaha.
Yatma dhrida nischayaha.
Arpita mano buddhi.
Arpita mano buddhi.
Yomad bhakta same priyaha.
Yomad bhakta same priyaha.
Let's read the translation. One who is not envious,
One who is not envious,
but is a kind friend to all living entities,
all living
who
entities,
does not think himself
does not think
a
himself
proprietor,
a proprietor,
and is free from false ego,
and is free from false
who
ego,
is equal
who is equal
in both happiness and distress,
in both happiness and
and
distress,
is tolerant,
who is tolerant,
always satisfied,
always satisfied,
self-controlled,
self-controlled,
and engaged in devotional service
engaged in devotional service,
with determination.
with determination,
His mind and intelligence
mind and intelligence,
fixed on me.
fixed on me.
Such a devotee of mine
Such a devotee of mine
is very dear to me.
is very dear to me.
The word that is very important in today's pastime are the words Dhrida Nischayaha. Dhrida Nischayaha means with determination. That means no matter what happens, we continue. Matajis, can we move a little bit forward now? The ground is dry. You know, there are a lot of devotees coming. Subhadra Mataji, you should sit on the chair. You shouldn't sit on the floor. Can some of the younger Matajis who are more able sit on the floor instead of the chair, if you can? Otherwise, we need to bring in extra chairs. Right? If you can't, don't worry, sit where you are. The same for Prabhu. Prabhu, we can move forward also. Now the ground is a bit dry, so we can move this way. Right? That will give some space to the devotees. We must pray to Jagannath to expand our hall. Somehow.
चलो चलो चलो
Lord Jagannath is not a stone or statue. This is the first thing we should know. By his supreme potency, Krishna in the form of Jagannath has so kindly agreed to enter into the form of the deity. So the deity is not different from the Supreme Lord. That is the first point we should remember. That Krishna is not different from Jagannath, and Jagannath is not different from Krishna. The wooden form of Jagannath is the most special form in this entire three universes. And we are very fortunate in Kali Yuga that we can actually see him. The reason why Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Maini have come into this material universe is only because of the determination of one devotee. And that devotee is the great king Indradyumna Maharaj. Indradyumna Maharaj was the king of Avantipur. And he was not only the king of Avantipur, but he was king of the whole Bharatvarsha. And that meant the entire world. It's very important. It was the entire world. Now, at that time, Indradyumna Maharaj, though he had everything with him, he had opulence, he had all great qualities, but despite having all the great luxuries of a kingdom, he was still not very satisfied. He was not. The reason was, he was hankering for the darshan of the Lord. Please remember, at that time, Lord Jagannath had not descended into this material world yet. There was no form of the Lord in that form at all. And no one had seen and heard of such a form even. But even then, Indradyumna Maharaj wanted very much to take darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he wanted to have darshan personally of that beautiful form of the Lord. Now this wonderful ancient pastime of Jagannath and coming as in the form of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra is found in a few Puranas. It's found in Padma Puran, it's found in Skanda Puran. So therefore it is very authentic. Now, in this beautiful pastime, we find that one day Vidyapati, who was actually the trusted priest and chief spiritual advisor to Indradyumna Maharaj, he was actually called by Indradyumna Maharaj's wife, the queen. And she said that we are very worried about the king. Because recently he has begun losing interest in everything. He's losing interest in material life, he's losing interest in taking care of the kingdom, and he's deeply religious. So Vidyapati was told that, look, you are literally his advisor. If he continues this way, Yudhyavira, the general, also came to complain. And he said that nowadays, the king does not even take interest in the armies. He doesn't take interest in looking after the kingdom. How to continue this way? So Vidyapati went to Indradyumna Maharaj and asked him an important question. My dear king, you have become very distracted. Is there any reason for your distraction? And the king, Indradyumna Maharaj, said, now I feel great separation from the Supreme Lord. I feel so hollow in my heart, and I'm hankering in my heart just to be able to take personal darshan of the Lord. Not only do I want to take darshan of the Lord, but I want the whole world to take darshan. So it's one thing for us as devotees to do devotional service. But an advanced devotee does not only think of his devotional service or her devotional service. Advancement in devotional service means we are always thinking of other devotees and other living entities' devotional service. This is the first thing we learn from Indradyumna Maharaj. Not only should we be thinking of our devotional service, but it's very important that we also bring others to Krishna. That is what really pleases Krishna. And that is what it means to be broad-hearted in our hearts. Right? So Indradyumna Maharaj had that dream. But Vidyapati told him that that's not possible. Because already it's difficult to take darshan of the Lord. There is no form of the Lord that we know of in this world. Then Indradyumna Maharaj said, if that is the case, then I would rather just die. Just when he said that, news came from the court that there was a Brahmana who had come very far away from a region known as the Niladri Hills region, Nilachana. And so Vidyapati said, let us go and hear what this Brahmana has to say. because he appears very excited. So Indradyumna Maharaj immediately went into the court. And when he sat down, the Brahmana bowed before him and told him very good news. The Brahmana told him that, my dear king, I have been traveling the world all over, but one day I went into this beautiful place known as the Niladri Hills. And in that region of Niladri Hills, amidst the valley of the hills, there is a beautiful kund known as Rohini Kund. And on the southern eastern part of the kund, there is a very beautiful deity which I have never seen before until just now. This deity is known as Neelamadav. It is the form of Krishna which is so beautiful that when I saw that form, I just became completely mesmerized and I lost all attraction to everything in this world. In fact, my dear king, that place where Neelamadav is staying is so wonderful that even Rohini Kund is so surcharged with spiritual atmosphere and vibrations because of the Lord that all the residents, all the animals, everyone there, they are completely liberated even while walking in this world. When Indradyumna Maharaj heard this, he turned to Vidyapati and he said, Vidyapati, just now only we were speaking about how much we are hankering to see the Lord, and immediately the Lord has reciprocated. This is the second point in the pastime that's very important. Ye yatha mam prabhadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. In 4:11 of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says so nicely to Arjuna that if, as you, yatha mam prabhadyante, as each one of us surrenders to Krishna, to the extent of our surrender, to that extent Krishna will reciprocate. This is the greatness and mercy of Krishna. That means everyone here has a relationship with Krishna. But to the extent of our surrender, to that extent he will reciprocate. That means don't be envious of the devotee next to you if they get more service. I know that's always the case. We always fight about that. You know? Because we think, why someone is getting more service? Why I'm not getting this? This is envy. If we understand Bhagavad Gita, ye yatha mam prabhadyante, we should understand it in the context of Shastra. Shastra says if someone gets something, they deserve it. If they are getting service, it's because Krishna is reciprocating with them. Who are we to come between that devotee and Krishna? Do you see the implication? So the next time you see someone getting service, serve them. Don't be envious of them. Because by being envious of them, you lose a chance to get service. And those who are envious of each other, Krishna will reciprocate with you in the same way he reciprocated with Kamsa. If you want that kind of reciprocation, continue. But if you don't want that kind of reciprocation, serve devotees. That pleases Jagannath. So Vidyapati became so happy. And Indradyumna Maharaj said, my dear Brahmana, thank you for giving me the best of news. Vidyapati, now please go and find this Niladri hills. And he asked the Brahmana for directions because they had never heard of these hills. Indradyumna Maharaj was king of the whole world, but he didn't see these hills. Which proves one thing. If Krishna doesn't want us to know something, we cannot know it. If Krishna wants to give us full knowledge, he can give us full knowledge. This is Krishna. And so Vidyapati traveled for a year. He traveled everywhere looking for this place. Where is this Niladri hills? Somehow I think, Brahmana's directions were not very good. So you know how it is in India, right? Where is this place? Just there. Just there. How long more? No, just go straight. It's only there. And then it will take us a whole few hours. I think Brahmana's directions was like that. So Vidyapati traveled and traveled and traveled. And finally he became so tired, but he entered into a region that looked like the hills. But he wasn't sure. And just when he was about to faint because he had no water, when he woke up, he saw the most beautiful maiden he had ever seen. And she was giving him water. And her name was Lalita. And so he asked Lalita, where am I? Where is this place? And she said, you have now come to the village of Shabara. And here we are actually herders of pigs. In other words, they are not considered to be of high caste. My father is the chief in this area, and his name is Vishwavasu. And we welcome you here. And stay with us until you recover. So Vidyapati was very, very focused. Dhritanishchayaha. He was focused on finding the Lord Neelamadav. So he told her, I will just stay here, maybe for a while to get better. But I must find the Lord Neelamadav. Lalita heard that and she was a bit surprised. But she kept quiet because she had a secret and she couldn't say it. Some days passed and Lalita took care of him. Vishwavasu was very kind to him. But Vidyapati noticed something very interesting. He noticed that every morning Vishwavasu would leave and he would bring flowers and some incense and everything. And he would go. Whenever he left, he smelled very bad because he was herding the pigs. Have you all smelled pigs? I'm sure you've smelled pigs, right? I hope you don't smell like pigs, but you've smelled pigs. Not very nice smell. So because of Sadhu Sangha, you also smell like pigs, you will take care of pigs. So Vishwavasu would leave in the morning not smelling very well. But when he came back in the evening, he smelled divine. Vidyapati would just want to sit with him only. He was smelling full of fragrance and flowers and incense. And Vidyapati's instinct, Krishna in the heart told him, something is happening here. Something which is connected to what I am looking for is happening here. In the meantime, Vidyapati and Lalita have fallen in love with each other. Right? Just, she had given him water, and in those days, that was how people connected. Someone in Bhagavatam, somebody touches somebody's hand and they get married. Somebody gives water and they get married. Today it's a bit more complicated. And so what happened was, Vidyapati and Lalita got married with Vishwavasu's blessings. So one night, Vidyapati asked his wife, Lalita, I want to ask you a question. Every night, every morning your father goes, he's not taking care of anything in the village. Every day he's there. What is he doing? Lalita said, I cannot say. Vidyapati said, I'm your husband, man. Surely you can tell me. There are no secrets between husband and wife. Now Lalita was a bit torn. She loved the father and he had sworn her to secrecy. But this was her husband, so how can he say it? How can he not say it to him? How can she not say it to him? So then she said, I will tell you a secret. But you mustn't tell father. Every morning Vishwavasu goes deep into Nilagiri hills. There is a lake, Rohini Kund. The moment Vidyapati heard Rohini Kund, his heart started beating. He thought, this is it. Something is going to happen. Near Rohini Kund, on the southeastern part, there is a beautiful temple. And in that temple, there's a beautiful deity. And his name is Neelamadav. Vidyapati's heart skipped a beat. Because after 1 year, finally, he had found the Lord. So he said, go on, go on. So my father goes there every day and he worships the Lord. Then Vidyapati asked, does anybody else go to see the Lord? Lalita said, my father is very protective over the Lord. No one can go and see him except Vishwavasu. Sometimes when we love the Lord so much, in that love, right, we say, no, only I want to serve the Lord. It happens, right? We can't blame devotees for feeling that because sometimes we have so much love for the Lord, we think only I can serve the Lord. It happens. So Vidyapati thought, all right. He said, Lalita, this is the reason why I came to the Nilagiri hills. I am coming here on behalf of my great king Indradyumna Maharaj, who is pining away for 1 year in Avantipur because he cannot take darshan of the Lord. And his desire is not only to give the Lord to himself, but to give him to the world. So you see the difference between Vishwavasu and Indradyumna Maharaj. They are both great devotees, but one had the mood of wanting everyone to worship Krishna, but one had the mood of only wanting to worship Krishna himself. Right? They are devotees, but there's a different gradation. That's why Srila Prabhupada started this movement so that everyone can worship Krishna. He could have gone back to Krishna sitting in Vrindavan very easily. Why did he have to leave Vrindavan at the age of 69, 70? Most people go to Vrindavan at that time to end everything. He left Vrindavan at that time to start everything. It's amazing. But we are followers of Srila Prabhupada. We are Prabhupada Nugas. Therefore, we must have this mood. The next person next to us must get to know about Krishna. And that's why we need to do that. Anyone we see, we speak to them about Krishna. So then Vidyapati said, please let me go and see Krishna. Please let me go and see Neelamadav, please. Lalita said, no, Vishwasu, my father, he'll kill me, then he'll kill you. He wouldn't allow it. And being, a very strong Shabara chief, he's very, he's very strong. I don't want to take a chance. But Vidyapati kept pushing and pushing, and finally one day, Lalita went to her father and told him that I have told Vidyapati about Neelamada. Vishwasu was very upset. But then he loved his daughter very much. And so, he decided, never mind. Since my daughter asked me that, I will just allow it. And so he allowed it. He called his son-in-law, Vidyapati, whom he didn't trust 100%, but he said, you can come with me, but I'm going to blindfold you. So Vidyapati thought, oh, Vishwasu is too much, What should I do? And then Vidyapati decided, let me find a way. And so he decided he would get some mustard seeds, which he got, and put it in his pocket. Vishwasu blindfolded him and then took him on the path. As he walked, Vidyapati started putting mustard seeds. And as he walked, a trail of mustard seeds started coming. You all know mustard seeds, right, have a capacity of growing very fast. And so Vidyapati was very convinced that if I put it now, and the time was right, when the rains come, the mustard seed will grow. Even if I can't find now, I'll find my way through the mustard seed. And so he reached a point where he came to this beautiful area of Nilagiri Hills. When you read Skanda Purana and when you read Padma Purana, there's very beautiful points that are brought up there. It is so nicely stated there that as Vidyapati was going, he could not see anything, right? But he could hear. So he started hearing. So he heard bumblebees murmuring. But actually the bumblebees that were murmuring were the devotees of the Lord who were chanting. But because we are in the material plane, we could not hear them. Then Vidyapati continued, and he heard the forest birds chirping. But Purana tells us that the chirping of the birds was actually the singing of the celestials. The Vidyadhars, the Charanas, they were singing. Then he heard, the fall of water in the streams. But actually the Puranas tell us that was the beating of the drums and the musical instruments. And then Vidyapati felt the beautiful breeze that was coming in. And that was actually the flowers falling from heaven. But he thought it was the breeze. And then eventually he heard new sounds that he had never heard before. And when he opened his eyes finally, he was perched behind a tree log with Vishwavasu, and they were seeing the divine form of Neelamada. Why were they hiding? Because the Devatas were there, and they were singing and chanting Purusha Shukta prayers to the Lord. Then after that, they did Arati for him. Brahma himself was doing Arati, just like Gora Arati. We hear Bhaktivinoda Thakur speaking about Gora Arati. In the same way, Brahmaji was doing Gora Arati, he was assisted by Indra. What a powerful pair of brahmacharis. And what a powerful pair of brahmanas doing Arati actually. Imagine on our roster we have Monday, Brahma and Indra. That would be amazing, isn't it? So, actually when we chant Krishna's names, they're all here, right? So when Vidyapati saw this, he was mesmerized. When he saw the form of Neelamada, he almost fainted. He was amazed at the form. Vishwasu kept telling him, keep quiet, let them go. And eventually, right, the Devatas left. After they left, Vishwavasu then came to see the Lord. And Vishwavasu spoke so plainly to the Lord. Vidyapati's heart melted when he saw the devotion of Vishwavasu. Vishwavasu spoke to Neelamada. He said, my Lord, how are you today? And he started telling the Lord what he did for the whole day. And then after he said, what did you do for the whole day? Vidyapati was surprised. This is a conversation. Neelamada was not speaking, but Vishwavasu was just speaking to him. Then he said, oh, by the way, I need to introduce you to my son-in-law. Right? I'm just reminded. One time in Dwarka, this devotee came, he always had a problem with his wife, and his wife always had a problem with him. They were fighting like anything. And they appeared before my Guru Maharaj in Dwarka. And he came forward and he started speaking to my Guru Maharaj. And my Guru Maharaj asked him, who is the lady next to you? Why don't you introduce her? And then he said, oh, I'm sorry, this is my knife. No, I'm sorry, this is my knife. I'm just reminded of that. And I remember Maharashtra laughing and laughing. And she said, "You're now in big trouble." So Vishwavasu, realized he was being rude. He was not introducing his son-in-law. So he told Neelamada, "Neelamada, by the way, I brought a guest today. And my guest is my son-in-law. His name is Vidyapati. I'm going to leave him here with you for a while. I'm going to collect some flowers around the area and I'm coming back. Meantime, Vidyapati, please talk to Neelamada." Vidyapati thought, I never heard anyone having a conversation like that. So Vidyapati just bowed down before the Lord and he prayed very hard to Neelamada that you have now allowed me to come before you. Allow me to fulfill my mission. Allow me to bring Indradyumna Maharaj here. This is the greatness of devotees. Drida Nishchayaha. We are determined never to forget our goal. Never forget the goal of our existence. Never forget the goal of why we come for a purpose. When we come to the center, we should not forget the goal of coming. The goal of coming is to serve Krishna and be friendly and serve his devotees. That is the goal. The goal is not to be inimical. The goal is not to challenge. The goal is not to compete. The goal is to serve. The goal is to be happy when others are doing well. That is our goal. So Vidyapati then was just very happy. And then he saw something marvelous. He saw a crow flying above Rohini Kund. And suddenly the crow fell into the water. The moment it touched Rohini Kund, the crow came up in a four-handed form of Narayana. And Vidyapati thought, oh my God, this is it. That means everyone who touches Rohini Kund will go back to Godhead. And he thought, there and then I should end my life. I should just jump into the water and I'll come out in four-handed form. He thought, forget about Lalita, forget about Indradyumna Maharaj, forget everyone. He was about to jump when he heard a great voice. And the voice was the voice of Neelamada. And Neelamada said, don't jump. Not yet. Do not forget my great devotee Indradyumna Maharaj. He's waiting far away. He's waiting. Which is a very important point. Sometimes we may not be in the center. But it doesn't mean those in the center who see those who are not in the center, we should not think that they are not devotees. We should not think they are very far away. They are not here with us. We are the people in the center. No. Anyone can worship Jagannath anywhere. Jagannath can be worshipped in your home, and that home becomes a temple. We should never think that way. Sometimes I know devotees who have not been able to come for some time, but they are very afraid of coming back because everybody will ask, Prabhu, why so long you didn't come? Mataji, how come so long I never see you? They become embarrassed. And they tell me that's the reason why I don't want to come. Instead of asking that question, don't ask. Just say, it's so nice to see you. That's all. Just say, so nice to see you. Come, you can do this service. That's all. And they will feel so happy, like they are connected. It's just one or two different words, but it makes a difference. This is a major feedback I receive on devotees who feel uncomfortable coming back to the center because they are asked so many questions. Some devotees come without their husbands, without their wives, for whatever reason. And devotees ask, Prabhu, where's your wife? Mataji, where's your husband? Why he's not coming? Why your children are not here? And they say, this is it, I'm not coming again. Why this kind of busybody attitude? Is this welcoming? We're not welcoming people. We should welcome people. Whether they come upside down, whether they come with someone, don't come with someone, why is it our business? Is it our business? It's not our business. You're not the register of marriage and death. Right? You're not the register of birth and death. Why are you? It is not your business or my business. It is between them and Jagannath. So Vidyapati was told, don't forget, Indradyumna may be far away, you may be here, but he's my devotee. You must fulfill your mission to him. Very important. So Vidyapati said, all right, no jumping in now. I'll do what I have to do. And then Vishwavasu came. When Vishwavasu came, he offered beautiful prayers and beautiful arati. And after everything, as he prayed, Neelamada spoke to him for the first time. First time ever. And Neelamada said, my dear Vishwavasu, I have been so pleased by your devotional service. All these years, my dear friend, you have taken care of me so loyally, never putting me down, or never neglecting my worship. But now it is my desire that I'm not only worshipped by you, but I must be worshipped by everyone in this universe. Everyone. So, I want to be opulently worshipped by the great King Indradyumna. Vidyapati is here. Make all arrangements to ensure that he will be able to come back and receive Indradyumna. This is what I want. And Nilamada became silent. Vishwavasu should have been happy, but he was very upset. He thought, my Lord, all these years I served you, you never spoke to me. The first time you speak to me, you tell me you want to leave. Then he turned to Vidyapati. It's all because of this rascal son-in-law. What did you tell Nilamada when I was not here? What did you tell him? Vidyapati said, I said nothing. In fact, I was going to jump. It's not my fault. If the Lord wants to go, the Lord wants to go. Vishwavasu refused to believe it. He said, no, I know my Lord. He cannot have behaved this way. It's because of you. And he tied up Vidyapati's hands and brought him back and imprisoned him in the Shabara village. Why? You can never go back to see the king Indradyumna. See, Vishwavasu is a great devotee. Don't mistake him. But sometimes, even amongst devotees, we have these different moods and mellows that we approach Krishna with. Vishwavasu found it difficult to accept that Nilamada wanted to go. Sometimes we find it difficult to accept in our heart when Krishna has a plan which is different from ours. Isn't it true? We have one plan and we think today I'm going to come, I'm going to sit, I'm going to do everything. But suddenly something changes. And suddenly some other persons do something. And we become disturbed. But we should learn to be broad-hearted. If Vishwavasu was broad-hearted, he would not feel this. But he felt it. So he imprisoned another devotee, Vidyapati, who was innocent actually. And that's how sometimes we mistake and judge devotees who are actually innocent. So we must be very careful of this. Don't form such opinions. It's very dangerous. Vidyapati was trapped, but Lalita came to his rescue. Right? And one day Lalita came and said, I cannot bear to see my husband like that. Vidyapati said, free me. I will go and find Indradyumna Maharaj and I will come back within 1 moon. In 1 moon's time, I will come back. 1 full moon, I will come back. And I will come back for you. I haven't forgotten you, but I have my duty also. And so Lalita, thinking, my father will kill me, but never mind, I'll settle that later. She freed Vidyapati. And when she freed Vidyapati, he went. And he went back as soon as he could. And he told Indradyumna Maharaj, who was pining away, Nilamada, the Lord, is in the world. And he has asked you to personally come and take him away so that he can be worshipped by the whole world. Indradyumna Maharaj became very happy. But Vidyapati said, you will face opposition. Because Vishwavasu and the Sabra village are very powerful. They were trying to stop us. Indradyumna Maharaj said, he turned to his general Yuddhavira and said, get an army and let's go. Now this is not very good, huh? Army against army, devotees against devotees. But what to do? They were gearing up for a fight just so that they could get the Lord. Sometimes we do that also, isn't it? I have my group of people, you have your group of people, and then we fight. And that's what happens sometimes. So Vidyapati and Indradyumna Maharaj came back very quickly. When they came back, what happened was they saw the village looking deserted. They were really shocked. Why was the village looking deserted? Then Vidyapati said, not to worry. Let me look for the mustard. And he saw the mustard plant. And in that way, he followed the trail with the king. Indradyumna Maharaj's heart was beating and beating and beating so fast. He thought he'd get a heart attack, but he wanted to see Krishna. And the moment they started coming to the part of Nilagiri hills, something terrible happened. All inauspicious omens started coming. Vidyapati had very scared feeling in his heart. Jackals were howling. Dogs, they were opening their mouth and blood and vomit was coming out. Instead of birds chirping, vultures were buzzing around. And all these omens were coming and Vidyapati started thinking in his heart that something is not right. As they approached the Rohini Kund lake, they saw the beautiful altar. And when Vidyapati went there to open the door, Neela Madhav was not there. Neela Madhav had disappeared. When Indradumna Maharaj saw that, he just fainted on the ground. He thought, Lord, I came all this way to see you. And the only thing I see is an empty altar. Where have you gone? How unfortunate I am. What misfortune I have that I cannot take darshan of the Lord. I'm bewildered. You told Vidyapati, my dear servant, that you wanted me to come and bring you to the rest of the world. And yet now that I'm here, you are not here anymore. Why is this so? And feeling great separation, they decided to go back to the village. Indradumna Maharaj started to think, I think Vishwavasu must have hidden the Lord. You see, sometimes amongst devotees, there is this speculation which is very dangerous. If something is not going in our way, we want to blame someone. We cannot see the hand of Krishna. Must be because of you. Must be because of you. You said something to him and that is why he's talking to me this way. And Indradumna Maharaj was thinking, Vishwavasu must have hidden Neela Madhav. He had not even met Vishwavasu. And yet he started thinking that way. So they went to find Vishwavasu and they saw him sitting in his room. But Vishwavasu looked so forlorn. He looked so sad. He looked so upset. So at that point of time, Vidyapati turned to Vishwavasu and said, Father-in-law, where is Neela Madhav? Vishwavasu said, I think you would have kidnapped Neela Madhav, unknown to me. Vishwavasu, Vidyapati said, we just came back. We didn't kidnap anyone. In fact, Indradumna Maharaj thinks you must have hidden Neela Madhav. And Vishwavasu said, what is the point of me hiding Neela Madhav when he has hidden himself from the whole world? He has hidden himself from the whole world. When I went back to see the Lord, he was no longer there. He was no longer there. Indradumna Maharaj directed all his anger to Vishwavasu. And he said, tie up this man and torture him until he tells us where Neela Madhav is. And at that point of time, Narada Muni came. When Narada Ji came, Narada always comes at the appropriate time, isn't it? Either he comes to hasten the process or he comes to end the process. Here, two very great devotees were going to have a big fight. And they were going to have a misunderstanding. So it takes a third devotee to come and settle matters. Narada came and Narada said, stop this bickering. I have come from the spiritual world and I have good news for you. The Lord Neela Madhav now does not want to appear in this world in that form. Never will you see that form again. But he will now come in a form never seen before. He will come from a wood that is from the transcendental world, from Sweta-dweep itself. This wood will come into this world, and he will come into this world, into the river that is flowing into the area of Nilachala. You should go to the banks of that sea and see as it moves into the river. It is known as Banki Mukhan. Come into that space, and there you will find the Lord in the form of Daru Brahma. Daru Brahma means the Lord in the form of wood. When he comes in the form of wood, he will be so heavy. But Vishwavasu, you must assist Indradumna. And Indradumna, build a temple immediately. Build it immediately and get it ready. And very soon, the Lord will come. So Narada brought very good news actually. And when he brought great news of the form of the Lord, he also told Indradumna Maharaj a very important point. He told him now that we should start preparing. Build a huge temple for the Lord. Build a temple that has never been built before. Vidyapati, start a fire sacrifice, a havan, and make sure that havan continues until the Lord comes to the world. And Indradumna Maharaj, we need a chief guest. Go and get Brahma himself. Go to Brahmaloka. Indradumna Maharaj said, how am I supposed to go? There's no MRT. There's no Grab. There's no Uber. How do I get to Brahmaloka? Narada said, don't worry. I'm the flying spaceman, right? Come with me and we will go. So he got everything ready. He told his queen, wait for me. Vidyapati, stay here and start the Brahmanas chanting. He told Vishwavasu, get all the Shabras to come. Let us be prepared to receive the Lord. And he left for Brahmaloka. Now when he reached Brahmaloka, Brahma was busy. Why? Because he's creating, isn't it? So he told Indra, just sit down for a while, drink, we'll take care of you, and I will come back to you. Now the day of Brahma is very different from our day. It's millions and millions and millions of years of our day will maybe come to the fraction of a day of Brahma, right? You all know that one day of the Devatas is 1 year of a human life. You know that, right? It's 1 year of a human life. Just 1 day for that. Even those ancestors who go to Pritaloka, there also it's the same timing. It's 1 day there and 1 year. That's why every year you do something for your ancestors, Pritaloka. Because for them, it's just 1 day passing. For you, you have eaten 365 days, you offer 1 day, and they are just taking for a day. Right? So for Brahma, it is much longer because his life is much longer than any Devata. So finally Brahma said, I'm coming as your chief guest. And so you go down now and get everything prepared. Just now I'm coming. And then Indradyumna Maharaj comes back to this world. He walks into the space where he thought the temple is. But to his surprise, the whole city looks different. His kingdom palace looks different. He was looking for where the temple was, but he couldn't find the temple. Instead, he saw a mound of great sand on where he thought the temple was. He walked into the area where the mound of sand was, and he saw a space where there was a oven. And there was someone sitting there, and they were continuing and continuing and continuing their mantras. When Indradyumna reached that person and said, where is Vidyapati? Where is the temple? I have come back. Brahma is coming. Why are all the arrangements ready? And this Pandit, this spiritual advisor, this Brahmana looked up and said, who are you? Why are you talking about a temple? The temple you speak about is thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And at that point of time, suddenly a great chill got into the heart of Indradyumna Maharaj. What do you mean? Where is Vidyapati? He said, I'm not Vidyapati, I'm Vishnu Sharma. Then he said, where is Yuddhavira, my general? He said, there's no general by that name. The only general who's actually there is Gadamadhav. There's no such thing as Yuddhavira. Who are you talking about? Then he said, how is it? Where is this king? I am Indradyumna. Who is the king right now? And he said, there's no such person as that. In fact, the only person who's here is the great king, and his name is not Indradyumna Maharaj. So who are you talking about? And like that, everybody started surrounding Indradyumna Maharaj. And they were saying, this must be a madman. What is he speaking about? At that point of time, there was a crow on the tree nearby. And the crow started speaking. The crow said, my name is Bhushandi. And I'm a crow who has been living for yugas and yugas and yugas. I can confirm that this personality is the great King Indradyumna Maharaj, who long ago was supposed to bring the Supreme Lord into this world. But he went to get Brahma, and life after life passed. All his generation are long gone. When Indradyumna Maharaj heard that, his heart just gave way. His wife had died waiting for him. He asked what happened to Vidyapati. And they said Vidyapati sat there and sat and kept the fire going until his life just ended with the fire. Where is Vishwavasu? They said, we don't know who Vishwavasu is, but if you're talking about that great Shabara king, right? He waited and waited and waited for you. But when you did not come, there was a great forest fire. He went into the forest and the forest fire took him. Where are my wife, my children? All of them are long gone. What about my great general Yuddhavira? Yuddhavira kept the army ready so that they could come and assist you in the grand reception of the Lord. But when he did not come, he died fighting in a battle. Everybody is gone. And at that point of time, Indradyumna Maharaj just felt in his heart that all is lost. All is lost. There is nothing left now. Better I just take my life. And so that night, he got ready to fast to death. And Lord Jagannath came in the form of a dream. The Supreme Lord came to him in a dream. And there the Supreme Lord told him, don't despair. Don't despair. If you want me to come to this world, so much sacrifice you will have to give. But your sacrifice will never be in vain. Those who take up devotional service, there will never be any loss for them. Indra Maharaj said, I lost everything. Everything. My family, my kingdom, everything. And still you have not come. I am very discouraged. And he said, don't worry. Now I am coming. I think Krishna is the one who started this idea. Just now I'm coming. So many lives. Still Krishna is saying, just now I'm coming. And he said, I'm coming. Do one thing. Go to Banki Mukul. Go to the shores. And I'm going to come. Indra Maharaj said, Lord, you said that many yugas ago. And the Lord said, now I'm coming. Just go there and wait for me. And now everybody else should be ready to receive me. And so, at that point of time, Indra Maharaj's heart lifted. Because the Lord was there. Narada ji also came and said, don't worry now. Brahma is also coming. You don't have to go and invite him second time. Otherwise, again it's wrong. He is coming. Don't worry. He's coming now. So now what happened? They waited and waited and waited. And after a few days, a huge log of wood started drifting down the river of Banki Mukul. And as he came, right, all the king's army came. And they wanted to lift the wood. But nobody could lift the wood. Many days passed, elephants, horses, nothing could move the wood. Indra Maharaj was thinking, this Lord is very difficult. So many obstacles are there. What are we supposed to do? And at that point of time, he heard very good news. He heard news that there was a king coming down from the herd, from the Shabara village. And he thought, is Vishwavasu here? No, his name is Veerabhadra. And the king personally went to see who this personality was. And when he saw Veerabhadra, he looked exactly like Vishwavasu because he was his descendant. And the king hugged him and embraced him and said, only you can move the Lord now. And Veerabhadra touched the log of wood. And the log of wood simply moved effortlessly down the river to the end. And with the Shabras, they carried and lifted the wood and they brought it into the temple and into the king's palace. When the king saw the wood, he now said, the Lord in my dream has said, carve this wood into 3 different parts. One will be the Lord himself, next will be his brother Baladev, and third will be their sister Subhadra. So he called all the great wood sculptors, all the great sculptors to come. The carvers, the carpenters, come and wood carve. Nobody could even carve an inch on the wood. No one could. Until one morning, one strange personality walked in and said, I will do it, but I need 3 weeks, 21 days. I will not take any prasad. I will close the door. You are not to disturb me at any point of time. If within 3 weeks I am uninterrupted, then you will see the form of the Lord. And when King Indra Maharaj asked him, what is your name? He said, my name is Ananta Maharana. But he's actually Vishwakarma, the celestial architect sent personally by the Lord. So he closed the door. 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, 18 days. And suddenly one day, a few days before 21 days, no sound inside. Every morning Indra Maharaj will hear chipping, knocking. And he'll be in ecstasy. But that day, for a whole day, he heard nothing. He heard nothing. And when he heard nothing, he became extremely worried. He turned to all the other devotees and said, I have to open the door. The king, who is now the king there, Galamada, and his wife both told Indra Maharaj, be patient. Don't open the door. He is there. There must be some reason why it is quiet. This is very important. Sometimes the Lord works in such a way that we cannot understand it, but we must still continue to have faith in it. Very important. Indra Maharaj was very...
Okay, don't touch.
Hey, wait.
You black. Hey, we are small. We come here. It's only a big.
No, now we will dance now.
don't see everyone does.
Blah. I know. Okay, take care of I cannot. I cannot. I like your nail polish. When I was your age, I don't even know how to do nail
This is for
We can't play.
ऊपर ऐसे ही रख दो.
You go to music class. You can't wear.
Jai Shri Ram Sankirtan Yajna Ki. So let's chant for about 30 minutes to 40 minutes, and then we will all stand and we will take darshan of Sri Sri Panchatattva. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
The wrong place actually. किसका है?
Hare
ये क्या है?
Ram
Close hand with
Krishna
Now that we are standing up, let's do another kirtan before we do Arati. Shall we?
সামনে দাম তো সামনে রেখে দেন পুরো ফেলে দেন সামনে
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna,